she gave her a kidney, and didn't get a wedding invite. If that sounds unbelievable, it's because the story behind Selena Gomez and Francia Raisa's quiet fallout isn't just another celebrity feud. It's a mix of loyalty, betrayal, and years of tension that fans can't stop dissecting. Once celebrated as an unbreakable sisterhood, their bond now lingers like a half-healed wound the world can't stop picking at. This isn't a story about petty drama. It's a story about how life-saving friendship collided with fame, silence, and unanswered questions. Back in 2017, Selena Gomez's health had taken a dangerous turn. She was battling lupus, a serious autoimmune disease, and her doctors told her bluntly she needed a kidney transplant, and she needed it soon. The waiting list was long, 7 to 10 years long, and her options were limited. That's when her friend, actress Francia Raisa, stepped in without hesitation. In a moment that would become etched into pop culture history, Francia offered her kidney. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just pure loyalty. The transplant was grueling for both of them, but it was successful. Soon after, Selena posted a photo that went viral, a raw, emotional hospital shot of the two of them lying in adjacent beds, holding hands. Selena called Francia her beautiful friend and said she had given her the ultimate gift. It wasn't just a friendship anymore. It was sisterhood, bonded in blood and sacrifice. For fans, it was a fairy tale of friendship. One woman saves another's life, and together they emerge stronger than ever. At least that's how it seemed. But as anyone who's ever followed celebrity friendships knows, what looks unbreakable on Instagram can start to crack in real life. And for Selena and Francia, the first cracks appeared quietly, just a year later. In 2018, rumors started swirling that Selena wasn't exactly following her post-transplant health guidelines. Whispers about drinking and partying began to circulate online. Some even pointed to TikToks she made that didn't help her case. She joked about how often she drank, and while she may have meant it playfully, it landed badly. For someone who had just received a life-saving organ, the optics were brutal. According to health guidelines, drinking after a transplant, especially with lupus, is dangerous. So when fans saw her seemingly making light of it, concern and criticism collided fast. When people online called her out, Selena clapped back, saying it was a joke. But the damage was already done. Francia quietly unfollowed her, and fans noticed immediately. That simple act, one click, ignited months of speculation. Was Francia upset about the way Selena was living after the transplant? Were there conversations behind closed doors that fans didn't know about? It was never publicly confirmed, but the timing spoke for itself. Their once unshakable bond suddenly seemed fragile. Then came 2022, the year everything shifted from whispers to full-on headlines. Selena released her deeply personal documentary, telling her life story, recounting pivotal moments, major struggles, and key relationships. It was supposed to be her most honest portrait yet, but there was one glaring omission. Francia's name never came up, not once. The woman who gave her a kidney, arguably one of the most life-defining events of her entire life, was left out completely. Then, in an interview later that year, Selena was asked about her friendships in the industry. Her answer? "My only real friend in the industry is Taylor Swift." The internet exploded. Fans were stunned. Francia is an actress too, and more importantly, she wasn't just a friend, she was her donor. It wasn't just what Selena said, it was what she didn't say. The silence around Francia was deafening. Francia saw the interview and didn't post a lengthy rant or press statement. She didn't drag anyone. She simply commented one word on a fan account that reposted it. Interesting. Then she deleted it. But that single word hit harder than 1,000 paragraphs. Everyone instantly understood that something between them was fractured. The backlash was swift and vicious. Fans called Selena ungrateful. Comment sections were flooded with accusations. People asked why she hadn't mentioned the woman who gave her an organ. Others questioned whether the friendship had broken long before. It became one of those moments where public perception shifted, and suddenly Selena wasn't just the sweetheart, she was under scrutiny. And just when the story seemed like it couldn't get more complicated, another twist arrived. Selena's wedding. She married Benny Blanco in a stunning Santa Barbara ceremony, surrounded by Hollywood royalty. Taylor Swift was there, Ed Sheeran, Martin Short, Nina Dobrev. The guest list looked like a who's who of A-list celebrities. Photos flooded the internet. Glamorous, cinematic, picture perfect. But fans noticed something immediately. Francia wasn't there. Not in the bridal party, not in the crowd, not in a candid behind-the-scenes shot. She wasn't invited. And that's when the internet lost it. It wasn't just about a wedding invite. It was about symbolism. In 2017, Francia gave Selena a literal part of herself to keep her alive. And in 2023, when Selena walked down the aisle, Francia was watching from home. For many, it felt like the ultimate confirmation of what had been whispered for years. The bond between them had never fully healed. The sisterhood that once seemed unshakable was quietly broken. To make things even more interesting, just days before Selena's big day, Francia sat down for an interview. The timing alone raised eyebrows. When she was asked about the old rumors that she was upset over Selena's drinking and smoking after the transplant, she didn't lash out. She didn't drag anyone through the mud. She played it cool. But not the everything's fine kind of cool. The kind of calm that hides a lot underneath. She said, "What you're asking me is nonsense." And then she explained that there had been years of rumors twisting her words. She made it clear she'd kept quiet for a long time, even as people speculated wildly. And then she dropped the line that sent chills through the fandom. "One day, maybe we'll address it." The way she said it didn't sound forgiving. It sounded like a warning shot, like she was sitting on a version of the story the public hadn't heard yet. Adding fuel to the fire, her dad went on a Spanish talk show that same year and confirmed that yes, Francia had confronted Selena about her behavior after the surgery. According to him, the friendship changed once fame and money fully kicked in. He claimed that Francia told Selena directly, "I didn't give you a kidney so you could go out and drink." That line stuck. Fans repeated it over and over online. It painted a picture of deep hurt behind the polished public personas. Francia never publicly confirmed or denied her dad's comments. But sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and her silence was deafening. Fans sensed that her calm exterior masked unresolved pain. Imagine saving someone's life and then watching them act like you're just a footnote. That kind of emotional wound doesn't disappear overnight. Meanwhile, Selena stayed largely quiet on the subject. When fans criticized her online after the Rolling Stone comment, she tried to brush it off with a TikTok reply. "Sorry I didn't mention every person I know." It was meant to sound casual, maybe even witty, but it backfired spectacularly. Fans read it as sarcasm, as if she was dismissing Francia's role in her life. The more she tried to move past it, the louder the backlash became. People weren't just upset about a single comment. They were connecting years of behavior, patterns they'd ignored before. Selena has always been portrayed as sweet, humble, America's mental health advocate. She talks about kindness, authenticity, compassion, but fans started to ask harder questions. If she values loyalty so much, why has she stayed silent about the person who gave her a kidney? Why the cold distance? And why, time and again, do close friendships in her life seem to quietly disappear? This isn't just about Francia. Over the years, fans noticed a pattern. Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, old collaborators and behind-the-scenes friends. People who were once close to Selena often faded into the background as new chapters of her career began. One viral thread broke it down bluntly. Every time Selena enters a new era, she sheds her old friends like a snake shedding its skin. Harsh words, maybe, but fans pointed out example after example. New vibe, new circle, new image, and people from her past quietly vanish. For Francia, this public narrative became a double-edged sword. She's never gone on a tell-all rant, never bashed Selena in interviews, but she's also not invisible. Every time Selena trends, her name resurfaces. The kidney friend narrative haunts her no matter how much she tries to build her own identity. And recently, she opened up on TikTok about something deeply personal. She was diagnosed with ADHD and chronic PTSD just months ago. She shared that she's been in intense therapy, learning, unlearning, and slowly healing. Her honesty struck a chord with people who saw a woman trying to rebuild herself away from the chaos. She talked about how even dancing, something she once loved, became a trigger after a painful breakup years ago. And now she's trying to reclaim that part of herself. It was raw and vulnerable. But what stood out to fans was how Selena didn't publicly support her. No shout-outs, no messages, no signs of solidarity. For many, it felt like the friendship had flipped completely. When Selena needed help, Francia gave her everything. Now that Francia is the one struggling, Selena is silent.